She's been Miss India and Miss World, and now she's Bollywood's top actress. But the amazing thing is she makes it seem so simple. So what's the secret of her success? Well, today is your chance to find out when in one of her rare interviews, I introduce you to Aishwarya Rai. Welcome to the program, Aishwarya.
Thank you.
It's amazing that your first film, Iruvar, was only released in 1997, and yet 3 years later you've swept all the major Best Actress awards, and you're considered the #1. Are you surprised by your own success?
Clever. Success is a relative term, and I always say that you got to enjoy it and not believe it, as simple as that, because everybody has their own definitions and parameters of what really success is all about. To me, probably achieving contentment and growing every day, enjoying my art while learning it, is probably to some extent what I'd call success.
So what about the fan following, the adulation, the kids queuing up for autographs? Doesn't that mean anything?
Of course it's special, and it is, for me, it's special because I just think that it just must be taking so much for people to come forth and to request and ask for the autograph. It's only them, you know, showing their love. And
it's also happened so quickly in just 3 or 4 years. Do you sometimes ever pinch yourself and say, is this for real?
For me, maybe in terms of interacting with the people, with the public, has been around for a bit longer than 3 years. It's been since pre-Miss World, actually, even as modeling and from Miss World. So it's been that's been around for a while. I never drooling, but in terms of I always love that interaction. That I've probably gotten used to. But in terms of I must admit that it feels very good to have received that recognition and appreciation in this new world, that's the film world, because there were a lot of preconceived notions which...
a newcomer can't do it, they said.
And a model and a beauty queen at it? Never.
So that's the real thrill. You proved them all wrong.
With a lot of guidance, help and support.
But it was a challenge, wasn't it? You rose to the challenge, and that's the real thrill.
All right, you get me to confess. Yeah, it has been a thrill to be able... It has been a joy, and it has satisfied me to be able to answer and put to rest a lot of preconceived notions.
Okay, let's go back to the beginning of what I might call the Aishwarya Rai story. I gather alongside your parents, there's just your brother Aditya and you. So was it a very close-knit family?
Yes, definitely. And the little joke about my brother is that he's elder than me, and it's almost probably because I've just always been so grown up. Like as a kid, they refer to this talkative little girl as a granny. You know how it is. It's like she just goes la 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 la. And I have an elder brother who's far more reticent, more controlled, more actually you dub that mature. But because I'm so over the top, I almost come across, with time, I've come across as far older than him. Also because of the kind of experience I've had in these various areas. So that obviously opens doors, your parameters, your entire perspective to life.
So his little sis was often his big grandmom as well.
And now more so. I mean, it's such a joke that even the media, I mean, recently we were at a function as a family and we were all clicked together. And you actually have them write little brother Aditya, and I was like, you know, you can't be doing this to me. And my brother cracks up. He's like, you know, maybe now I should start believing it, because it's just become like a regular thing, not just like in the media. We go somewhere and we introduce ourselves, like I said, it's my brother Aditya. And he goes, hi, I'm elder than her. And we know the reaction that's coming. I was like, really? And I'm like, I don't know how to react to that. I do not know if that's a compliment or what.
Your mom also says that she was the most talkative child imaginable.
You can see that now already. I'm hardly giving you a chance to throw your questions.
So you're not shy?
No.
No nerves?
No nerves, simply because there are no pretenses, as opposed to, I mean, people always thought there was this I had this veneer, there was this whole ice maiden aura that apparently people perceived me to have. Excuse me. And that's probably because I gauge people that more so initially.
You mean underneath that placid exterior is a cold, cruel, calculating mind that gauges everyone?
You tell me.
Those eyes say
gauging?
Those eyes say
it. I mean, how do you call gauging people that you want to interact with as being cold and calculative? I don't think those two go together. you're taking all the negative terms. That's not fair. It's probably been being careful and maybe even defensive to some extent, because you do not want to open yourself up to just about everybody.
You protect yourself a lot?
I think naturally, yes. Today on hindsight, I'd say that, yeah, naturally, I have probably subconsciously developed.
Are you vulnerable? Do you get hurt easily?
Probably that's why, yeah.
They say that right from your school days, you were always best at whatever you tried to do. I gather you always came top of the class.
By the grace of God.
Were you a cram?
By the grace of, no, I was not a cram. I was lucky. No, I would study at the nth moment, but I think somewhere God gifted me with a bit of photographic memory, so I managed to sort of take it on in at the nth moment and be able to deliver.
But I gather that after years of coming top of the class, suddenly when you came into the 10th grade, it didn't work out.
You've been told. Yes. Yeah, I think that's when I really appreciated coming tops.
But what happened in the 10th when you came with the 8th rank?
Yeah, oh Christ, you've been told even that. Yeah, that was a huge disappointment. Like, that's what I mean. That's probably when I, for the first time, appreciated the rank that I'd had all along. And when they expected the most in the 10th grade, it's like, that's the board exam, and, you know, is she going to break the records this year? Is she going to top? And it's like, not first, not second, not third, to the 8th. It was a huge disappointment, and I felt like this absolute failure, and I was like so disappointed. But
did that setback make you a little better as a person?
yes, I'm more sure, not as a person. You know, I like the way currently just judging and saying that I had a problem in my personality. No, I think that, like I said, it made me more appreciative.
Of success?
Of success, and definitely prepared me for life being as cyclic as it is. You know, it prepared me for the wave pattern in life, that you'd ride the crest, you'd go through the trough, and that's what life is all about. And it probably made me, whenever I said the Buddhist method, the middle path mode of life, it made my approach to life that way.
Seems to have made you a bit philosophical as well.
Yes, definitely. And I grew up a lot, and I'm glad. It really prepared me for what life is really all about.
Now, you talk about what life is all about. You became a part of everyone's life when you won Miss India. Take me back to that moment. What made you compete in that competition?
I must confess, it was no childhood ambition. There was no thing that, oh, I have to be Miss India.
It was an accident?
Probably by virtue of being in the media world. I was modeling.
And you did it for a lark?
Honestly, and that was also over my decision to join movies.
So were you surprised when you won?
It felt very good, but there was a lot of, I mean, I did come second, because...
Just by 0.1?
Yeah.
Was that disappointing?
No, see, I must, there was this whole, the media just played it up for so long, creating it like this huge disappointment and a huge failure, which is what takes me back to my 10th grade results. That's what I mean, that I did not perceive this as a failure, because one did not fail in life. It did not set me back any which ways, and it was just a competition. There would
media also played up a sort of Sushmita Sen, Aishwarya
exactly, which was absolutely unfair, because they were just two participants who placed, and by the grace of God did well even later internationally. So there was no need for this little tamasha that happened, but it did. And
the tamasha went completely huge when you won Miss World 11 months later. At what point during that very, very coveted competition did you say to yourself, I think I've got a chance?
No, on the contrary, I was like, uh-oh, the signs are the same like Miss India, because because all the signs during the competition, this I've never spoken about, I must tell you, was exactly as it happened during the Miss India, when there was this whole level of expectation out of me. Strangely and wonderfully so, the same thing happened at Miss World. Even though you go as an absolute non-entity, I mean, no one judges you there. You're just a participant from your country. You're representing India. Within that month, I had become very, very popular, and there was a lot of, in the international press, amongst the select few contestants, I was topped as, you know, I was bidded as definitely one of the very strong contestants and probable winner. So I was like, uh-oh, this can't be happening again to me. I don't quite like the feel of this. So there was this happening. Then, just before I left for Miss India, of the final gown, my zip had split. These are like really little things, not that I'm superstitious, but my zip had split, and my gown was brought there by the designer. to Goa. My contest was in Goa. The same thing happened during the Miss World. On the evening that I was flying out, I just did this final trial and the zip split and it all had to be repaired. So it came in later and I was like, everything. It rained here.